Welcome to the Cemetery Gates podcast, featuring Xander Kane and Android Virus. Hey, welcome to the Cemetery Gates podcast. I am the Android, the Virus, the Aaron, featured by my illustrious co-host, Mr. Xander Kane. How you doing, sir?
Hey, that's me. I'm here. Just left a class. So the missus and I have been wanting to make like a bog. You know what a bog is? It has like carnivorous plants in it and shit.
Sure, yeah.
We've been kind of been putting it off for like a year and a half because it's kind of like a lot of research and all that stuff. But the place right down the road, which is a nonprofit called Trees Atlanta, they taught a class this evening on how to make a bog container. So we went and did that. So we bought some plants and we're ready to go.
Is it like a globe?
No, it's you can just use a pot.
Just a pot and make a bog,
yeah.
Bog, huh?
Yeah.
A bog.
Cool.
Like
Pitcher plants and Venus flytraps and all sorts of stuff in it. Yeah.
I want to do that. That's great.
Yeah. I'll keep you posted on the progress.
I don't know how good it would do in the desert, but I would assume it would do better in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's pretty good here. You guys don't get quite enough rain because they can't be indoors. They don't survive well. Or in places with like highly acidic, like rain or too many minerals in the tap water. So
yeah, that's
anyways.
us. That's us.
Yeah. So Atlanta's pretty solid for it, and we got a couple different varieties. So something will be growing year round on it.
Our pH levels are high as fuck out here.
Just like your residence.
Yep. So yeah, man. Welcome back to the Cemetery Gates podcast, and
where we selected two really odd movies for today's listening pleasure.
Well, damn. Okay, we were all over the place. How about this one? How about that one? How about this one? How about that one? How about this one? How about that one? And then I just said, I like that name. I picked it. And then I was like, have you watched this one on Netflix? You're like, no, but I'll watch it. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's just do those.
Yeah.
It ended up
for a change, I was finished with my movies early, and I was like, whatever. I'll watch Day Shift too. And you're like, let's do Day Shift because I texted you some things about it, and you're like, maybe we should switch. So technically, Day Shift wasn't really my pick. It just kind of fucking happened.
Yeah, I would say
we were talking about it.
Technically, these were both my picks. We'll put it to you that way.
Because my pick was fucking awesome, and we didn't.
Oh,
we'll do it later.
By the way, I just want to let you know.
My pick that I want to do so far is in the top 3 of movies this year for me.
Jesus Christ. Well,
I'll keep it a secret, though.
Keep it a secret. Keep that close to your chest. Put it in your front pocket.
I will. Since you didn't want to talk about it.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
I kid.
By the way, I know, and I'm like popping this up on you. So I was a few weeks ago. Yeah, that guy. A few weeks ago. Rachel was getting tattooed.
Nice.
And
did she get our logo finally tattooed on her?
No.
Okay. Oh, come on, Rachel.
She needs to. She needs to get that right across her fucking back. So anyways, I'm the shop that we go to, they're old. The guy who owns it's old. I would say childhood friend. I've known him since I was like 13. But anyways, one of the tattoo artists, man, where was he from? Chicago, maybe? Somewhere. But his name is Bud Weeks. I know it's a funny name, Bud Weeks.
Sounds like a used car salesman. Come on down to Bud Weeks Used Cars.
Yeah, BudWizzo on Twitter. And we got into a conversation about podcasting. Because one of the guys brought up, he's like, hey, this guy does Android Vision. And he's like, I've heard of that. It's weird. Android Vision's getting weird little name buzz. I don't know. People are like, I've heard of that. And I'm like, so anyways, he's like, yeah, I explained to him what Android Vision is, horror host show and da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, but you podcast. And I'm like, yeah. So he proceeds to tell me, he's like, man, I used to podcast back in the day, like, but it's when we had to record in a radio station. and then I would have to take the disc and then put it on a computer and
Yeah.
do insane editing. And I'm like, really? And he goes, so what's the podcasting world like now? And I'm like telling him how simple it is. And
Yeah.
it's like, man, I'd really be interested in trying something again. I'm thinking about it, like 20 questions or 5 weird questions just with random people, you know? And I'm like, that's cool. And he was just like really throwing the bait out there to be like, can I guest on your show? Can I guest on your show? So I hit him up and I said, hey man, maybe in a few weeks. I said probably in a few weeks we're gonna do one. If you're not opposed to it, I'd like to have this old school OG podcaster on tattoo artist to help us review a couple movies.
I don't know. Sounds fishy.
Sounds fishy. Bud Weeks, really nice guy. Find it,
No, no worries.
BudWizzo on the Instagram.
Yeah.
WIZZO.
Yeah. I know this is. We probably will only have one more show before the month of death. So
It's gonna be a heavy month, bro. But we're
keep
gonna
that
do
in
it.
mind. But yeah, we'll get it.
Yeah, it's gonna happen, man. It's gonna happen. I promise you that. Um, yeah. So I told him. Yeah. So he's down for it. So we'll pick some fun shit.
Okay,
So
cool.
cool.
Yeah, I would like to do, since we've did the Predator thing and now we got like a newer movie this week. I think the next show needs to be
Some
old school rootsy stuff.
fuck yeah. I'm down. I'll find
People are
some
like,
nasty
why are
ass.
you doing new movies?
Yeah. It's our show. We
Well,
do what the fuck we want.
wait. So we.
Technically, we I don't know. Let's talk about it. So I mean I know you've been watching a lot. I haven't. I've been super busy with I wouldn't even say it's my new job, but my new role in my job. So it's been really tough for me to even watch TV shows.
Yeah,
So I'm doing my best. But I will show up for the Halloween thing. I promise you that.
no worries.
But yeah, man. I mean, let's get into these movies. Um,
Uh, yeah, yeah, sure.
you
Let's
sure?
do it.
You're sure? You're
Well,
sure
yeah,
with it?
I was gonna mention a few things that I had watched.
Mention them up, bro. Go for it.
All right. Let me pull it up here. I want to get the name right. Just a few things, because last time we just went straight in
Yes.
to
Great,
Predator.
great show, by the way.
Yeah, it was fun. Just kind of flying by the seat of our pants, fucking winging it,
Yeah.
like the true professionals we are. Where the fuck is it? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Almost there. Almost there. The fuck is
Get
the name of
there.
this thing? There it is. All right. So I watched a documentary.
Okay.
The It's like a 3-hour documentary on folklore. It's Woodlands Dark and Days Bewitched: A History of Folklore. It's on Shudder right now, but I picked up the box set from Severin that has a shitload of movies on it and this awesome documentary, which apparently was just supposed to be a special feature on another movie that they were putting out. I can't remember which one. It was just supposed to be like a little 30-minute featurette. But the guys at Seven were like, we have full faith that this could be something like really awesome. So they let the lady that directed it make this documentary, and they put it with his box set and all these like folklore things. If you are into folklore at all, like this thing is fucking brilliant from beginning to end. It goes pretty in depth from even shit that I hadn't seen before. There's a bunch of short films that were thought to be lost are on this thing. There's an audio book that's a disc on there, folklore, and in the box set, anyways. But the documentary talks about all that stuff that is in the box set and then some, and then it's got these beautifully like drawn animations to go with these folklore kind of themes and some really awesomely scored music. But it hands down one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. Like it was super in depth and everything about it was fascinating. Now I understand a lot of people aren't into folklore, but it does a very good job of kind of defining it. And realistically, there was a bunch of stuff that's kind of thrown in there that I didn't really consider folklore, but when they break it down and start talking about it, you're like, oh shit, I guess that kind of is it fits the mold.
Mhm.
um, so anyways, I wanted to recommend that to people. I know it's long, but it was fucking amazing, and I thought it was dope.
There you go.
And then I did catch up on some other stuff. I watched The Black Phone.
Oh.
finally, which I liked. I thought it was good fun. However, I don't think I'd ever watch it again. I don't think there's much rewatch value there, but a very cool story. Story's told very well. The kid that's acting, it's great. Ethan Hawke is great. Good score too. So definitely love that. And then I watched This Is Guar, which I believe you watched as well.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna mention that actually.
Yeah, which was pretty damn good. There's a lot of shit to cover in the history of Guar, and I thought it was pretty well managed. I think I haven't heard any like huge Guar fans be really mad about it, so I think they did well with it.
Yeah.
So if you're a Guar fan, definitely check that out. And
Yeah,
then,
it's really good. I mean, I would consider myself a Guar Uber fan.
yeah.
I mean, so I really enjoyed the fuck out of it.
Hell yeah. And those were really the only few things I wanted to mention was those kind of documentaries. So
yeah,
we can leave it at that.
Yeah.
Oh, and I did watch Men. So.
Oh, how was it?
So I'm a huge Alex Garland fan. Awesome director. This was his first like. This one feels different. Like this feels a little more artsy than all the others, and there's I don't know. There's a lot of subtext in there, but there's some very shocking and intense moments in it. I thought it was okay. I liked it. I didn't love it. Like I love his other stuff much better, but I thought it was just kind of a film where he was. I think Greg Mo said something to this effect, to where it was just kind of him, kind of spreading his wings a little bit and just kind of experimenting. So, which I agree with. So Greg Mo's not wrong. If it was Greg Mo that said that, I'm pretty sure it's Greg Mo.
If it was really him, if it was Greg Mo or the imposter.
No,
there's no imposter Greg Mo, but yeah,
No.
I feel you there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched This Is Guar. I mean, my wife have like really only have been having time to like watch one show at a time. So obviously it's not horror, but it's amazing still. Nonetheless, Better Call Saul. Wrap that up. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then I think we're gonna get back into Dark Winds, which is really cool. It's actually a cop mystery supernatural show, filmed literally a half hour from where I live.
What is that on?
It's on AMC, and it's about Navajo reservation cops in the 1960s.
Oh,
and
that sounds interesting.
Pretty cool, and it's all filmed here, man. So they definitely get, it's a trip, but they're dealing with weird shit, supernatural and also crime type of stuff. So we caught like first 3 episodes, but we need to catch back up on that one. And obviously the She-Hulk, I'm
I was about to say, did you guys watch the first episode of that? I think the second one came out today.
Yes, we got to watch the second episode. I was pleasantly surprised because Marvel's really stale for me, like but I'm gonna give everything a shot.
I liked the first episode. I thought it was entertaining enough. They had to get through a lot of that story, kind of establishing this and that type deal.
Our rule of thumb when we start new series is we'll give it like
3 episodes or so.
3 episodes, and sometimes I'll tap out, sometimes she'll tap out, and sometimes I'll like it and she won't, and vice versa, whatever, and one of us will continue it. She did Billy the Kid, and I just didn't quite grab me like it grabbed her, but probably it's because of all the sexy men in it that she liked it.
Yeah, probably.
The sexy.
I'm surprised you didn't like it then.
Oh yeah, you know me.
I know.
I know. I gotta watch the new Game of Thrones too. We'll see what that's all about too.
Oh, loud.
Yeah, we'll see.
I forgot about that. I completely forgot about that.
Yes, it came back. So, what do you want to review first, sir? I'm gonna leave this one up to you.
Let's knock Day Shift out of the way here.
Let's get it the fuck out. All right. So first things first. Let's listen to the trailer for Day Shift.
Day Shift.
We'll be right back.
It's gonna be a hot one in Los Angeles. So what's on the agenda today?
My eyes are closed.
Like every day. What are you doing in my room?
Hunting vampires. Money.
Vampire hunting is a business. Cut necks and cash your checks. Well, things have changed since you got your ass kicked out the union.
If I don't come up with 10K, my wife and my daughter are gonna move to Florida.
Hi, Dad. You're late again.
And the union is the only place that could give me that kind of money.
Your record is chock full of incidents. Bud, he's a new man. One last chance. This is your final warning.
Let's get cracking.
Vampires just tried to kill me. Now I just pissed my favorite fucking show.
Hey, everybody pisses himself the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you?
No, I didn't. But listen, look, you did. You know what I see when I see a vamp? Big old dollar sign. Hey, don't you puke in here.
I swallowed it.
Locked and loaded. Doggy dog in the motherfucking...
Vampires. They're amongst us. And all they are is murderers. Does not eclipse, new moon, breaking dawn, point one. It ain't like that, all right?
Why do you know the names to all the specific Twilight films?
What?
And what's your gripe with Breaking Dawn Part 2? It's the exciting conclusion of the whole Twilight saga.
Welcome to the day shift, motherfucker.
Works every time.
All right, guys. So you listened to the trailer for Day Shift. That's right. It's just came out August 12th, so not too far off from it, and it's straight to Netflix film. And yeah, it was directed by J.J. Perry, and I don't know if you know who J.J. Perry is.
Oh, he's like a stunt guy and act. He's been in a ton of action.
He was Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat.
Really? Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff. He even played like Sub-Zero in one of the offshoot
fan films.
No, it's like a Mortal Kombat TV show,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, tons of stuff. Stunt coordinator. He's a stunt guy. For the most part. Anyways, no, enough of him.
Enough of him.
But it is his directorial debut. So
Right.
And then yeah, it's starring Jamie Foxx, Dave Franco, a lot of Snoop Dogg. I would say a cameo. They throw him on the cover. Come on.
Yeah, it's he plays a bigger. Not really. He probably has less than 20 minutes on screen.
Right. And my favorite, Scott Adkins. He's an English actor, and this motherfucker is in everything. He plays one of the vampire hunter brother guys in it, you know?
Yeah.
He's in X-Men, he's in Doctor Strange, he's in John Wick. He's
an IP man 4.
He's in Universal Soldier Day Reckoning, which is a horror movie. I don't know if anybody's ever seen it.
I haven't watched that yet. We've talked about it.
Fucking great. Anyways, yeah, Scott Adkins, really, the guy I think should be the next Batman, but whatever. How many Batman do they need? Yeah, Netflix. So basically, it's okay. Let me put it to you this way. I don't know if you guys out there in podcast land, or even if you, I don't know. I have this weird nostalgic feel for movies that are actually filmed in LA, especially high-priced, big-budget ones.
Yeah, it feels like old Hollywood. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah, like this movie was filmed in LA. Yeah. Anyways, it's great because I I mean, I want to go back to California, but I don't know if I want to go now. But anyway, so Jamie Foxx, which is a weird name, is made as Bud Jablonski, which is,
Yeah.
Yeah, Jablonski. It's great last name. But yeah, it kind of starts off with him cleaning a pool, and then going into a house, but then he's like, I don't know, he's all done up with guns, and it looks like he's about to rob the house, but
Yeah,
then
he
he
kind of Rambo's up a little bit.
yeah, and he goes in the house, and right away you see his breath, and it's like, oh, and he fights a vampire. So
Yeah,
it's like,
an old lady vampire.
yeah, but it's like a ridiculous fight. It's like John Wick on steroids.
Right. So there's all right. So there's one really cool thing about this movie, and to me, they didn't use it to their best advantage. So the vampires in this movie, a couple of them, not all of them, are like contortionists. And like
Yeah.
so what makes the fight scene look ridiculous is they do have the contortionists do some moves, and then they mix it with like CGI to speed them up and move them off walls, and it looks like this weird hybrid of like crouching tiger, hidden dragon fight scenes with weird
Yeah.
contortionist vampires, and it winds up looking like a fucking video game character running around on screen,
And
and
it's
it just looks
also
silly.
and it's also very tongue in cheeky too. It's not like this serious. There's like a 1 second pause with a quick one liner. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, there's tons of jokes from the get. I mean, this is a minute and a half into the film, and this has
yeah,
already happened.
right. Yeah. So he fights these vampires, and they bleed black, and they puke black, and let me just put it to you this way. Even though there's obviously a lot of CGI in it, I mean there are a lot of practical effects, but also
Yeah, for
they
sure.
use it both. They use them both, but it's really violent.
Yes.
Super violent. A lot of dismemberment, lots of head cutting. I forgot how many heads are cut off on it.
Yeah, which I'm
But
wondering if Netflix made the blood black to soften the blow and the
for
violence.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because if it was like straight red, it would get more backlash.
Yeah, so he's basically he's a vampire hunter, and he tries to sell some of the vampire fangs at a pawn shop. That's owned by Peter Stormare, who has another small role in it.
Let's see, the Russian components, American components, all made in
Yeah.
Taiwan.
Yeah, he's in everything.
Yeah.
And then so basically he's trying to make money because he's got money troubles. His ex-wife, she wants to move to Florida with their daughter. He obviously has a very close relationship with his daughter, who's like 9 or 10 years old, maybe
He's got
11.
to pay like $5,000 for her schooling, and then like for her private school, and then
Braces and
$5,000 for braces. So he needs like $10,000 quick.
yeah, so he calls his old buddy Big John, who's Snoop Dogg, to help him basically there's a vampire union, right? And he's working outside of the union and trying to make money on the side, but
What's a union of hunters?
yeah, they're a union of
vampire.
hunters. Yeah, but the thing about it is he can get back into the union if he plays by their rules, but he got kicked out of the union because he broken every rule, so it's
In the book.
in the book. Yeah, so it's basically like you broke this rule, you broke that rule, blah 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 blah. So essentially, they said we'll welcome you back into the union, but you need to be supervised by a union rep who is Dave Franco. And then
enter the moment it becomes a buddy cop film.
Yes, yes, yeah. And Dave Franco pisses himself.
And it's supposed to be funny, but it's just not funny to me.
No, it wasn't.
It just
So
doesn't
flat.
work. It's like, what? Like, okay, not funny.
So flat. But in between all this, you kind of have a little bit of a backstory that there's a little bit of war happening with the vampires themselves, and you get introduced to another vampire chick who has her face on the real estate board. She's she's building real estate, and so she's gonna go talk to the vampire elders, but who kills them? Bud killed them at the beginning of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Which is funny because his buddy, the guy Troy, ripped him off. He's all, these aren't elder teeth. They were only turned into vampires like 5 years ago. but they were elders.
They're like 600-year-old teeth.
Yeah, he fucking ripped them off, which is really
Yeah.
fun. So yeah, so they basically they find who it is because he they find some of his blood. They know the taste of it.
Right.
But she's, and this is where like I'm like, okay, here we go with Blade. She's wanting to restore like the old order by building homes and using them to establish vampire colonies and have a vampire army, right? So Blade, boom, nothing fucking
Nothing
new
original there.
Nothing original.
So
And then
yeah,
go
so
ahead.
they do like one thing I do like about this, but once again I think it was a cool thing they had and they kind of squandered it away, is that when they start describing all the different types of vampires and like what they do. So they start like kind of loosely talking about an evolution, kind of like the different types, then later on things happen when they come together. So I was really kind of interested in like, oh, I wanted to know more about
like
why is this vampire this, like they didn't really elaborate. They're like, oh
they
no,
had
this
like
this this.
some, yeah, that they said like were closely related to like insects. Remember this mention of
Yeah.
ants, and yeah, it was strange. But basically Bud and or Jamie Foxx and
Davy
Dave Frank,
Franco.
yeah, baby Davy Franco, they go vampire hunting, but Bud, he is violating everything again, and Seth or he doesn't want to report him because he's there to watch him, and
Yeah.
and then once he's learns that he's like, oh, he's doing this for a good reason, he's like on his side, right?
Yeah. But at first he's just like the typical, I have to report this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
Just trying to do his job, just kind of driving a wedge between the two of them, like getting along. Typical buddy cop shit. This cop plays by the rules. This cop doesn't. Like, even though Dave Franco's not like a cop, but he's still technically like a superior to him because
he's like, I'm watching you, I'm writing
right.
everything down.
Even though
And
he's
it
like meek mannered and or very mild and meek mannered, he's just
really bad jokes.
awful.
Yeah, awful. What did the gerbils look like when you were killing her? What did it sound like? It was just really flat, stupid jokes. It just didn't. But anyways, as we go through the movie, Audrey, or the main vampire chick, finally finds out who Bud is, threatens his family, revealing that the old vampire lady was her daughter, and she's gonna get his family now, or she's gonna get Bud's family now, Jamie Foxx's family, his daughter and his kid, and everybody's taken hostage.
Which was super fucking predictable. Like you
Sure.
knew.
Oh God, dude.
Like it drove me mad because after she threatened Jamie Foxx, like I'll get your daughter and wife, he literally drives his fucking daughter to his wife's house. Why the fuck would you go there?
Oh.
Like they know she knows where your fucking family is. Why are you going there?
I mean, between all this, there's some really cool fight scenes. They find a weird nest of vampires, and those two guys help them fight them.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Where the two guys show up and they decide, like, he gets short on time, so he meets some other vampire hunters, and they're like, "Hey, if we go in together, we can clear more vampires and split the cash and move on to another nest or something." So they agree.
Right. Sorry, my damn thing went out. Can you hear me now better? Sorry, my microphone.
What happened?
Can you hear my microphone now? Sorry.
It sounds all weird.
Is it
Sounds
better
like sounds like you're like standing away from the computer or something. There you go.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I'll let that all out. So, so his family's taken hostage by the chick vampire, and then and obviously they have, what's his name, Dave Franco. They turn him into a vampire, which was super predictable as well.
Yeah.
And then he's rescuing the family, and then they recruit Bud's neighbor, finds out that she's a vampire too. Well, there's vampires everywhere, but she's an outcast. And like a Native American chick. She was really cool. I actually liked her role.
I liked her character actually. Yeah, I agree, and she's beautiful.
Yes, very much so. But so they're there during the fight. John shows up, right? Who's John?
Snoop
You know,
Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. That's right. So he shows up, gets bitten, chooses to sacrifice himself, so that,
Yeah,
Jamie Foxx could save his family.
yeah, with like a cool UV light bomb kind of strapped to his
Yeah,
chest.
that was cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
but which is crazy. Um, I liked it because like the whole like what they were building the houses on underneath. Again, now here we go. Cue the From Dusk Till Dawn thing.
Right.
It was the whole Mayan temple underground with vampires and snakes and shit. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. And yeah, they end up fighting, and you know, the good guys do, I guess, win at the end. I don't know. I don't want to give too much away,
Yeah.
but
Well, yeah.
yeah. And then John climbs out of a hole at the end.
Yeah.
The manhole. It's like, oh, and Dave Franco turning into a vampire and getting his head cut off. That was pretty funny. But he puts his head back on.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. All I could say about this movie, like, not original at all.
No.
It takes everything from every vampire trope.
Yeah.
Blade, From Dusk
With,
Till Dawn. What
yeah.
else?
With the exception of the small discussion we got of the different types of vampires, where they came from, that was, to me, was one of the coolest thing they could have had going for it, and it was just completely left by the wayside.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, cool, thanks for nothing.
Yeah. What? Blade, From Dusk Till Dawn, John Wick, even though it's not a vampire movie. Yeah,
Cop out. Just kidding.
Cop Out. A buddy cop film. I mean, this movie had $100 million budget, which Jamie Foxx probably pocketed 15 of it. But I don't know, man. What did you think?
So like, the writing to me is just not very good at all. Like, I actually like Jamie Foxx in most things that he's in. Actually, like, I think he's great in Collateral, Ray, and several other movies. I think he's great, and I don't necessarily think he was bad in the movie. I felt that it was the dialogue, and I felt that Dave Franco is kind of the same way, because I've seen Dave Franco be funny. So it's not necessarily Dave Franco, it's the writing, and the jokes felt like they were written by a 15-year-old kid. Like, the whole thing with him like pissing his pants, and at the end, somebody in a writing room was like, what would be hilarious after he turns into a vampire? We're gonna make him shit himself instead of piss himself. And that's what they fucking do. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this is stupid. And even though some of the fight scenes are good, they all turn to like Call of Duty shooting zombies off the screen. Like, it's just like bam, bam, the guns come out and they're just shooting them and they're exploding and falling to the ground. You're like, okay, that's not all that entertaining to me after you do it, 40 times in a row.
Yeah.
And I don't like buddy cop films in general. I hate the concept, and it's been done 9 million times, and to try to force it into this was kind of dumb to me. And I just could not get into it, man. I could not get into it at all. Like I said, the only thing I liked was the lore that we didn't get, and I couldn't wait for the damn movie to be over. At the end of the day, it's not, I'm sure a lot of people have liked this movie, but for me, it hits like every X instead of a check mark just about across the board. So for me, this movie's a 1.5 out of 5. Like, I won't pick this up again. So.
Yeah, it was it was I wouldn't watch it again myself. I mean, I gotta tell you, man, I'm
And it's long, man. It feels long. It's like 2 hours long.
yeah, it's a long dude, it was a long haul. It was a long haul. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had to watch it in pieces, but I'm gonna stand solid with you on that one, man. It's not good in that respect. I won't watch it again. I again, there are certain things I like about it. The fact that I felt like it was a Los Angeles film, which it was, and I love Los Angeles films first and foremost. But that didn't even help it. Like, I like movies that are filmed on location in L.A. I don't know what it is, like that Hollywood feel. And I liked the gore for the most part, and the action was really pretty ingenious. I really liked the action and some of the weapons. I wish they would have explored the vampire lore a little bit more, but at
Yeah,
the end of the day, it was a cookie cutter
yeah.
motherfucker, bro.
And I will say, like, the contortionist scenes when it's just the contortionists are fucking awesome. Like, just in the purest form, are so fucking creepy. Like, it's fucking legit amazing. But then they, give them speed and they run around like a bunch of,
Yeah, yeah,
video game characters. So,
yeah. It's a trip, man.
but for
Our,
so much money going into this thing, it was like, it's like Netflix. Why do you got to dump this much money into this?
Jesus.
I'd rather have Bright 2.
Oh, I love that movie.
I liked it too. Which I
Fucking
think they're
love
doing
Bright.
that. I think that's been
Are
greenlit
they?
anyway. I think it's been greenlit. Yeah.
Did it? I thought Will Smith ruined his career for about another 5 years, but
Oh, they may have pulled that back out, but I don't know. I didn't
I don't
hear
know.
anything about that.
Bright was
But
great,
it
man.
it was greenlit before the slap heard around the world.
Ooh, I know. Get control of yourself, sir. Get control of yourself. All right. So
Now for something completely different.
yeah, and let me tell you this, unless I made it myself, there is no fucking trailer for this. So
That doesn't surprise me. Also, there's like this dude has like 6 other films, so
yeah, let's talk about this. Very interesting. So I was going into my YouTube free categories, and basically I saw a really cool name, and I picked it, and I just sent it to you, but I didn't even realize the movie was only an hour long, which is fine.
which is totally fine.
Totally fine. And it was 1979's Weasels Rip My Flesh. And at the time it was directed by 16-year-old Nathan Schiff.
Yeah.
Directed, written, edited, everything, produced, did it himself. And it's about what you would expect. Let's try to piece this story together. I'm going to read this.
I'll read the synopsis if you want me to.
Please do.
All right, so this is the synopsis on IMDb, which we don't typically read very often, but this one's just pure gold, so we're sharing. And the synopsis reads as: returning from planet Venus, an errant NASA spacecraft crashes into the ocean, spilling its radioactive cargo. Enveloped by a radioactive mass, a rabid weasel is transformed into a gigantic killer mutant. Prowling the countryside, the huge weasel kills and devours victims. The creature is captured by a disturbed scientist who plans to use its regenerative blood to amass an army of similar monsters, enabling him to conquer the Earth.
All right,
That
that's
sounds like
it.
it was
That's
written by
it.
16. That's the
Yeah,
movie.
that's it. That's the movie right there, guys. Hope you enjoyed our review. It's great. Funny, an hour long. It took him an hour long to do that. Just kidding. Yeah, okay. It's made by a 16-year-old who I would assume has a 16mm camera.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, so they kind of get into the making of the radioactive cargo in the beginning of the film, which he uses. I'm gonna only assume like homemade, some type of silly putty.
Looks like silly putty and like butter, because they kind of had a yellowish color to it, like melted butter, but it was a thicker consistency.
And then uses like his mom's utensils to look like they're pouring it in beakers and plastic containers and shit with a black background, which is cool because it's like it's not really giving anything away. And then the spacecraft crashes into the ocean, which is just like a little miniature rocket or something.
Got it at a hobby store and threw it in the water.
Yeah, and then the stuff is kind of spilling out into the water, and then
a couple of vials like pop out.
Yeah,
containers, I guess, not vials, but.
And let's just this is made in Staten Island, and they got some thick Staten Island accents in this movie.
Oh man, especially that news reporter toward the end.
Yeah, I thought she was English for a minute. I was like,
I know.
no,
I was like, wait a minute.
She's just hardcore Staten Island. Yeah, and then they got these two kids riding their bikes,
which I assume they're brothers. They didn't really say, but
yeah, one gets bit, and he's like, just leave your bike here. You could ride on the back, and yeah, one of them dies, and
well, they get that container and they pour that shit down in the hole
Yeah.
which is the thing that bit the brother or whatever. So they pour all that liquid down there, and then there's like a kind of a cool scene where you see like this weasel under the ground, which is some sort of stuffed animal, but he's got it covered in that yellow stuff and like moves it, and it looks like it's trying to breathe as it's like slowly. So they're showing you the mutation happening real time.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. And then you have a dude driving a car and he hits something. And
he hits the arm of the weasel or some shit.
Yeah, but like it's all POV, which is really cool. It was a really cool POV shot of the thing running, and then the arm, I don't know how the kid made it, but I mean it wasn't like the best, but for 16 and what we had, it wasn't halfway deep, it wasn't half bad.
No, not at all.
And so he collects the arm, takes it back to his house, starts fucking with it, dissecting it. I don't know.
Is pulling shit out and just squishing it together with tweezers.
Yeah, it's weird, and I don't know if the kid or whoever did it used like real meat. Like I kind of feel like they did. Do you know what I mean? In some parts.
Yes, could spend something. Yeah,
some steak or mincemeat or something.
Yeah, and this movie, we haven't mentioned it yet, but it actually is pretty bloody.
Yeah,
you do get blood scenes. Like whoa, like it's a lot. Like at the very early on, you get a throat grab or whatever, and blood just gushes out. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It looks like a little Herschel Gordon Lewis color blood.
Mm-hmm.
Closer to that than real blood, but hey, it's just a 16-year-old kid. You got like fucking keep in mind.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's definitely Herschel Gordon Lewis ish, but again, a 16-year-old kid. And I get big Don Doler feels from this movie too. By the way, I just want to just kind of let you know that I get big Don Doler vibes. But yeah, so like so this guy who takes the arm back to his house calls his buddy, and then his buddy somehow gets infected and starts with the arm or whatever's in the arm, and he starts foaming at the mouth and kills his own friend.
Yeah, turns into or starts to turn into a weasel later.
Yeah, later, and then again we get the creatures captured by the scientist who doesn't even. He looks like a fucking just a gas station worker. He's he's the most unconvincing scientist ever.
Yeah, the acting is not. The kids might be the best actors in this movie.
Yeah, the acting's not great by these 70s, and then like these agents or these government like I don't know, I want to call them men in black, even though they're all dressed in polyester and brown leather. We're tracking what was going on, and the scientist captures them, and he's like, I'm keeping you because I'm gonna drain your blood because I'm gonna make myself stronger and shit. Like I don't know, it's fucking weird, and
it's like comic book villainy shit going on right now.
Yeah,
at this point in the movie.
Yeah, and it's in this house where his laboratory is pretty much like in the fucking kid's bedroom. It looks like.
Yeah.
With possibly some shit he got from his high school to make it look like a laboratory, and maybe a my science project, one of those 1970s my science project fucking things you got from J.C. Penney. But yeah, I mean, then the two guys eventually escape, and then the guy turns himself into a monster.
Which is pretty cool looking.
That is decent looking.
It's pretty cool looking.
It is. And he finds himself fighting another rabid weasel.
Somehow. I don't know how that happened, but whatever.
Somehow a rabid weasel comes out of the ground, and the monster, the scientist turns himself into the monster, is fighting the rabid weasel. So you have this weird little monster fight at the end.
Oh man, we have to talk about the fish.
Oh, okay, but not yet. Okay, so he gets his arm ripped off by the monster, but he kills the monster, and then he turns back into the human, and then the men in black scientist that was chasing him, that he beat up, ends up shooting him dead in the water.
Yeah, as he's like walking into the water.
With one arm. But then, before he goes down, a fish or a shark jumps out of the water and and bites his other arm off.
And takes him down to the ground.
Yeah.
And I swear to fucking God, dude, if you watch that in slow motion, you can see somebody's hand holding the fish that's moving it forward in the water. And it's like one of those, like the fish looks like it's looking at you dead in the fucking eyes on the camera.
I feel like it was like a fish that his fucking uncle just caught.
Yeah.
Fucking on the
It
Hudson
was
or something in New
so
York.
fucking weird and random, and I laughed my ass off because I thought it was fucking hilarious. That
I almost, for a minute, I almost thought it was a one of those mounted fish. They just fucking peeled it off peeled it off the wooden placard that it was stuck to.
Yeah, it's like a swordfish.
Yeah, all fucking shellacked and fucking with plastic, plaster like they do. Anyways, yeah, and then guy has no arms, and then he just fucking dies, and the movie ends. But it's like,
what?
yeah, but for what it was, like, seriously, like, this is like a high school film, guys, like, for real, like this. And I mean, I gotta like it. I gotta like it, dude. Like,
somehow it was better than Day Shift.
Yes. Somehow, I'm sure that if I log into my IMDb and put that in there and say better than Day Shift, but somehow it is better than Day Shift because there was some heart and soul behind it.
Yeah, well, once you find out, like, this is a 16-year-old kid, and like, when you think about it from like strictly creative, from a creative side of things, like, this is a 16-year-old kid wanted to make a violent science fiction film, essentially, with minimal things at his disposal. He managed to put together a decent looking creature. Yes, the story is silly, and it does have silly things happening in it. The acting's not great, but man, what he did do right, he made a pretty cool creature. We got great gore in this. I mean, it's not like intestinal gore, but you got good blood scenes. It's not too long. It's an hour long. I mean, shit, it's an easy watch. So I definitely kind of like admire that about what he did. Like this. So if you like this style of kind of weird, low budget creatures, there's a guy that makes movies right now. Well, makes short films right now. He's trying to make a feature. His name's Joe Meredith, and he makes these really cool, like, science fiction looking horror creatures that are fucking awesome. So I just appreciate that style in general, the really low budget sci-fi creature stuff, because it's a kind of a niche genre in general. Like, not many people want to see that. They'd rather see a big fancy costume or all that. But I don't know. I think there's something to be said for the creativity of when you really have to, you ain't got shit to make what you need, so you got to figure that shit out and how to make it look decent. And I felt that Nathan Schiff somehow pulled that off.
Yeah, man. I mean, my review is somewhat the same. I mean, first of all, I wasn't bored the whole time. I was engaged, and not because I was like, because I've seen really awful movies. I mean, look at our fucking show, but I'm just saying, like, I was engaged. The story was pretty original. I mean, it was a weird sci-fi.
You understood what was going on, like,
yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't convoluted at all.
It was not
incoherent.
it was not incoherent. By any means. It was very well aware of what it was and what it was doing. The gore was great. Obviously the acting was a little off. And they filmed a lot of it during the day, naturally, for natural light and inside. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I mean, other than the lack of budget, obviously, I kind of enjoyed it, for what it was. I mean, I'm a sucker for creature features. I'm a sucker for we talked about it before. I love Don Dohler films, and it was really right up there with that. And man, I would love to see something like this. And I'll talk about it more at the end of the show, but I'd like to see something like this played like in an art house theater. It would be. I think if you can get this up there, it'd be cool. I think people would really appreciate it for what it was. Totally.
And I would definitely watch more of his movies just out of simple curiosity. And one thing we didn't mention that I did want to mention was the audio was totally weird in this. it's straight ripped from other movies. Like it's you could just, in the way it's like edited together is kind of sloppy a lot of the times. Like it's not smooth transitions. But honestly, I found that like a little more endearing. He's like, I need audio. Let's rip it from this and throw it on there. So it's a lot of
Right.
public. It's probably a lot of public domain stuff, but it's just funny that it's like kind of the sound editing is quite poorly. But
Yeah, yeah, and Nathan Schiff. I mean, he's hasn't made anything since 2008, and again, I'm interested in to see what else he does. Some other weird things that he does. I mean, I'd like to definitely look into that. But yeah, for my money, man. I mean, look,
I guess we got to rate it. What are we rating
yeah,
it?
and it's like I don't want to be too mean to it because it's a 16-year-old kid, and I knew
Yeah.
what I was getting into when I watched it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna for what it was, right? For what it was, and obviously we're not going to be putting this in the same wheelhouse as a Predator movie because those
Right.
are like huge, massive budgets, and those are giant
Yeah.
shoes to fill. So in this genre, in this subgenre of these type of creature feature films that are just really out there, Herschel Gordon Lewis type of stuff, and again, Don Dohler type of stuff, Night Beast type of shit. I'm gonna give it a 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah. I
I
think that's fair.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm not going to fight you on that. 2.5 is fair.
really, yeah. It's a fun little watch. I could see that it on MST3K or something.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised it hasn't made its way over there, but
Yeah, yeah. Well, maybe it'll make its way to Android Vision. I don't know. We'll see.
hope so.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, just to we made our way into a local movie theater, which is really
Yeah,
cool.
we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
Because we went straight into Predator.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun, man.
It looked like it was fun. I wish I could have
Yeah.
made it out there.
Yeah, it was there's obviously the Guild which hosts a lot of when Vinegar Syndrome travels through town, and they'll do a lot of Arrow films. It's a historic movie theater here in Albuquerque. It's called the Guild. It holds 150 people. It's a beautiful, weird, historic little theater. It's just got old vibes to it. And I went in there when I went in there to go buy some Blu-rays when the Vinegar Syndrome was in. Our buddy Alyssa, she helps me she comes on Android Vision every now and then and reads the mail and will shoot the shit with me. She's like, tell this guy what you do, tell this guy what you do. I was like, listen, stop, tell him what you do, tell him what you do. And I was like, he's like, what do you do? He's the owner. And I told him, he goes, man, send me some clips. So I sent him some clips. He's like, I want to have you here. And I was like, what? He's like, gotta have you this dude. Yes. The movies you watch. So we did Doom Asylum. And we had a good showing. We had a lot of people show up. Wasn't a packed house, but probably 3/4 of the way full.
Hey, enough.
Yeah. He's like, man, we got to rush. We sold out of popcorn. I'm like, cool. And so we're gonna do it again. September 10th. We're gonna do Equinox. So
Cool.
yeah, and then we'll probably kind of hang until next year, probably January, and do it again. But it was super fun, man. I was so nervous because I'm like, are people gonna laugh at my shit?
Right, yeah. You don't
Are they
have
gonna
the because
boo
in
and
this
hiss?
in the studio you're around you're around all your friends
Everybody's laughing.
that
And
like it that enjoy it, right? Like
yeah, but then you have people off the street in public. But we got a lot of good laughs, and um, it was really interesting to see because I have my I'm gonna call it a code, but I have my when I do Android Vision, like I try to pick a PSA that kind of matches the movie a little bit.
yeah.
And Doom Asylum was just this weird schlocky 80s sex weird teen rompy, I don't know. But the PSA that I picked to it was about minnows mating in a stream, and there's so much double entendres in there from the 1950s. People got it. They were laughing, and then they were laughing at our jokes. So it was cool. So
Good, I'm glad.
looking forward to doing it again. Yeah, I don't know, man. It was very humbling, very interesting. And I did have to go to the bathroom with because I had my backpack, because I did sell shirts there, so I was keeping my cash in the backpack, and I had
Yeah.
a 6-pack in my backpack. And I went to the bathroom and slammed 3 beers in a row because I was so nervous.
He's like, I gotta take the edge off.
Yeah, dude. Like I got these local beers called Pepe Loco. Like they're just local pilsners, you know what I mean? But they're pretty strong. They're like, I think they're like each can's like 5.6 or 6% alcohol. And I fucking slammed like 3 of them in 5 minutes. I was like, burping in the bathroom, another one. You know what I mean? I'm like, 5. Because alcohol, if you slam a beer like that, it hits you like in 2-3 minutes, right?
Yeah, if you did.
I'm like,
yeah.
Like, whew, I can breathe. Whew, all right.
Okay, all right, let's try this again.
Yeah, exactly. It's so funny, dude. So all those pictures you see of us during Android Vision, I was pretty fucking buzzed, you know.
Nice.
But hey, whatever. So, but yeah, we're gonna make it back in about 3 weeks, and then we'll probably take a break, and we're gonna shoot the shit about what we can do to fit our Halloween stuff in.
Yeah, I started making a list, but I don't even know fucking.
I don't
how
know
I
if
wanna
I'm
do
just
it this
gonna
year.
fucking do movies that I've just never seen or theme it out. A part of me. I do know this. I am doing first and foremost the Scream series.
Oh, nice. I thought about doing the Prophecy series because I've never seen a single one of them.
Perfect, because I've seen them all. But and it's okay. I think this year we don't have to do what you've seen or I haven't seen. I think we should do individual. It gets kind of hard and convoluted. I think we should all do our individual movies that we have not seen. So maybe we'll figure it out. You and I will have to hodgepodge it together. But
Totally cool. Looking forward to it. There's a lot of like yeah, I don't know. We'll talk later.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll catch you on the flip. Thanks for tuning in, and
beware of weasels ripping your flesh.
That's right. But don't worry about the day shift vampires. That fucking pussies. All right. Good night, guys. Have a good one.
Good night.
You've been listening to the Cemetery Gates podcast, featuring Android Virus and Xander Kane. Follow us on Twitter @AndroidVirus, @Xander_Kane, and @CemeteryGates66.